The biggest fight of his career, Jorge Barrios, a real character, a cocky, free spirit. How about those glasses from the Hector Camacho school of fashion? He's one of those love him or hate him type of guys who has cleaned up the division in Argentina, but is virtually unknown here in the States. Has no real world-class experience, yet he is #2, a major celebrity back home. He does soap operas. He's a model. He sings. This is his U.S. debut. You wouldn't know it by the way he has behaved, Al, that this is his first world title shot, and he's facing a guy many consider the best pure puncher in boxing today. To describe Barrios as loose is an understatement.
You know, you see as he's coming in, he's facing a very hostile crowd here. Many more Brazilians than there are Argentines here, that's for sure. It's his first fight in America, it's his first title fight, but he has shown no signs of intimidation. And you hear now some of the Argentines starting to make themselves heard.
And certainly not humbled by this environment. Here he is, La Hiena. Crowd. He's 39-1-1 with 29 knockouts. His only loss of DQ 6 years ago to a nondescript opponent, which he avenged his next fight. The Argentine flags. Quite a scene here in Miami. And here is the normally reserved, humble, gracious, yet passionate Acelino Freitas, perhaps a bit more pensive than usual. When we met with him yesterday, seems very focused, no doubt. But in the midst of a highly publicized divorce, and his father, who passed away just before his last fight, would have been 67 this past Tuesday. Crowd going wild. Popó is beloved in Brazil, as you can tell. Is it possible that Barrios' tact of psychological intimidation could work to Freitas' advantage, getting his mind off the problems he's got?
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, both these fighters are feeding off the energy of this crowd, and we could just as easily be in a soccer arena or a soccer stadium in Argentina or Brazil. It's that kind of atmosphere.
Freitas hasn't lost in 8.5 years since the amateurs predicts a second or third round knockout. Barrios said round 7 or 11 for him. Let's see how they stack up on paper. The age is all even, slight edge in height for Freitas. Biggest disparity in reach, 2.5-inch advantage for the champ. And yesterday's weigh-in, Freitas right on, Barrios just below. And the notable rules for this double world title fight. There's no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th, it's a no decision. After the end of 4, they go to the scorecard. So here at the arena in Miami, getting ready for our main event, Acelino Freitas versus Jorge Barrios for the WBA and WBO 130-pound championships. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Miami Arena here in Miami, Florida for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Arthur Palulo's Banner Promotions and Showtime. This bout coming your way is sanctioned by the WBO President Francisco Balcops and Supervisor Jimmy Resnick, the WBA President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Alberto Sarmiento, and the Florida State Athletic Commission, the Chairman Alvin Hinton, Vice Chairman Eduardo Lacasa, Commissioner Don Bowen, and Executive Director Chris Mefford. Our physicians at ringside, we have Dr. Alan Fields and Dr. Stanley Simpson. Timekeeper at the bell, Carmine Chirachella. Introducing our three judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Guy Jutras. From St. Paul, Minnesota, Dennis Nelson. And from Coral Gables, Florida, Peter Trematera. And our third man of the ring, the referee in charge, working in this his 21st world title bout, Jorge Alonso. All right, fans, here we go. The time has come for our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO and WBA 130-pound championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Miami, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks with blue trim and hailing from Tigre, Argentina. He weighed in at a ready 129 pounds. His record, 39 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 1 no decision, with 29 wins coming by way of knockout. At 130 pounds, he is ranked number 2 in the world by the WBA, also number 2 in the world by the WBO. Here is the challenger, known as La Hiena, introducing Jorge Rodrigo Barrios. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing silver trunks with green trim, hailing from Salvador, Brazil. He weighed in at the limit of 130 pounds even. He is undefeated in his campaign of the ring with 33 wins, no losses, 30 big wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making his 11th appearance in a world title bout, here is the undefeated WBA and WBO 130-pound champion of the world, introducing Acelino Popó Freitas. And once again, a referee in charge, Jorge Alonso.
Está bien claro y les di las instrucciones. Recuérdense que quiero una pelea limpia, obedezcan mis instrucciones en todo momento. ¿Alguna pregunta en esta esquina? Esto aquí está bien. ¿Alguna pregunta aquí? Aquí está bien, a la esquina. Voy a romper a la esquina.
The two guys talking to each other. Freitas said something first and Barrios retaliated. What an incredible surge of energy, and one of those matchups where you're just not sure Barrios can win, but he is one of those workmanlike guys. He's strong, he does have a good chin, and could possibly make things a little difficult for Freitas. Remember though, despite recent question marks, Freitas won his first 29 by knockout, 22 inside 3, and the average is just 3.5 rounds per fight. Here we go.
Acelino Freitas has fought 4 rounds in the last year. That is maybe the only thing you can point to. Again, that was against Juan Carlos Ramirez, who won by knockout, so he's not been as active as he has been in the past. We'll see if that has any impact on him. He wants to go after Barrios early. You can feel it.
Freitas in the silver, Barrios in the red and white. Is it important for Freitas to make Barrios feel like he's in there with someone he's never been in with before, right here?
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants to do, Steve. He wants to land punches that will take away the confidence of Barrios immediately. But he wants to do that from the outside, not get on the inside and brawl with him. And that's primarily what he's doing right now. And for Barrios, not the quickest fighter with his hands. He needs to be on the inside where he can rough Freitas up.
So Barrios is available to be hit.
Very much so.
And we'll see if Freitas establishes his power here at the outset. Acelino Freitas, one of 6 children of a lottery ticket salesman who grew up in poverty in Salvador, Brazil. Barrios also grew up very poor in Argentina, Tigre.
Freitas getting a little bit closer than he wants to, and he just got whacked with the right hand. He does not keeping the distance he would like so far in this fight. At least not the last 40 seconds, and Barrios was able to get him with the right hand.
And now Freitas, who normally forces the fight from the start, being a little more on the cautious side here. Starting off a little slower than usual. There's a left hand on the underneath by Freitas. Barrios in the chest area. Barrios awkward. Left uppercut to the midsection by Freitas, nearly a low blow.
Acelino Freitas is being very wild here, and that's an issue for him early in this fight. He's going to give Barrios a chance to land some of those awkward, wild punches.
And one of the knocks on Freitas, despite his great success over the years, he does throw wide at times, leaves himself open. He's wild, and he can't neglect defense. Push Barrios back there. Now he's starting to find a rhythm, it looks. There's a right uppercut by Freitas. Freitas opening up. Barrios holding on. Look out now. He's at his back to Freitas. Final seconds of the round, and Freitas storming in. His skills are well known. Barrios comes in as a little-known commodity here in the United States.
Jorge Barrios tends to lunge in head first. That'll make him an easy target for Freitas if he does it. And he likes to body punch, but he should do so sparingly because Freitas will counter him to the head. Barrios' lack of hand speed won't allow him to stay outside. He's got to get inside and turn this into a brawl. For Freitas, he's predicted an early KO, but he shouldn't really rush things, and that means he needs to keep the right distance between himself and Barrios to be a boxer-puncher. What will give Freitas a chance to end this fight? Well, it would be the classic jab-right combination. Here against Juan Carlos Ramirez, the jab was short, but it helped set up this big right hand, part of the reason Freitas was able to put him out.
Round 2. Barrios, not a one-punch knockout guy like Freitas, and now the heads come together. Freitas trying to point it out to referee Jorge Alonso of Miami.
And you know, the first round, Freitas won the round, and he hurt Barrios, but he did rush things, and he didn't keep the right distance between them. This is an Acelino Freitas who's throwing very wildly and giving Barrios chances in this fight, instead of being the boxer-puncher that Oscar Suarez would like him to be. Like that right hand that from nowhere, that had no reason being thrown by Freitas.
Barrios looking very cool despite difficult circumstances. And you know, world title fight.
And you know, Steve, the interesting thing here is Barrios was very hurt toward the end of that round. But he's come out with confidence in this round. Level before, but he is supremely confident, and one thing about him, you see how aggressive he's been.
Most of Barrios' knockouts against fringe opponents, don't be fooled by his knockout percentage. He looks to overwhelm people. He can be sloppy when he goes forward, as you've seen. But he is extremely determined. He has no quit, and he loves to be in the ring. He's a performer. Showman, as you saw by his entrance.
And do you know that no Argentine has ever won a portion of the 130-pound championship before? So he is trying to make some history here.
Freitas, one of the 3 world champions from Brazil. Later Joffrey Miguel de Oliveira and now Acelino Freitas.
26 from Argentina, and the most famous, Carlos Monzon, the great middleweight champion.
Monzon, like Barrios, used to like to use that intimidation factor before fights. Well, that kind of stuff's not going to work on Freitas. Too savvy. Been around too long. Fought too many big fights. Freitas trying the jab. Barrios connects with the left hand. Sent Freitas back. Loving lefts at the bell. Well, Freitas wants to touch gloves. Barrios will have none of it. Madison, New Jersey's Oscar Suarez giving the instructions to Acelino Freitas as we begin round 3.
Suarez saying that the straight right hand will be the ticket in this fight. However, I don't think Freitas can throw it as a lead right. He's got to use the jab as he did there to set that punch up, and it will be much more effective. And there you see, he's using the jab much better, and that right hand is getting some range.
He's stationing that right in position to unleash. It can be wicked. Also has a big left hook to the body. And he can throw the uppercut, Freitas. A flurry by Freitas. Then Barrios out balanced momentarily.
Barrios' mission here, and he's done it better than I thought he could, especially in that second round, is to lunge like that. Wow.
Speaking of lunging,
very dangerous because he could have injured himself, Freitas.
One of the advertisements on the apron of the ring causing slippage for Acelino Freitas.
When Barrios lunges in like that, Freitas is supposed to make him pay, and he's not doing it.
In case you're wondering, Barrios down 1 time to a 40-year-old fighter named Ricardo Silva back in 02. Freitas down 3 times, including his last fight.
2 freight train right hands by Freitas. Let's see if they hurt Barrios. Boy, those were beautiful right hands. Oh, hooked by Barrios. Tremendous punch.
Barrios showing his toughness here.
Freitas is playing with fire. He is wildly exchanging with Barrios. Oh, big right by Barrios.
There is some blood now. The forehand of Barrios eats a right.
This is a fascinating round because Acelino Freitas has landed at least 3 right hands that are supposed to hurt an opponent or knock him down, and Barrios has not gone down.
Barrios wiping the blood away, maybe getting into his left eye, but he fights on nevertheless. Now there's blood streaking down the left side as well. It's a cut down the middle, and I think it's affecting more the left side of his face as now you can see it. But I'm not sure if it's getting into the eye right as of yet or it's around the eye.
10 seconds.
Or both. Now it could actually be more than 1 cut.
Cut on the left eye as well.
Vamos arriba. Vamos arriba, campeón. Tenemos,
relax, we're winning.
Tiene que iniciar con la mano derecha.
You need to start with the right hand.
Dura un poquito.
This medicine that I put is going to hurt a little. You need to move side to side.
A dangerous moment for Acelino Freitas. The water in his own corner, interestingly, boy, he could have been injured very badly there, and thankfully he wasn't. Freitas was able to land some Very good right hands. There's one that was a superb one. There's another one. And during the course of this round, he landed about 3 or 4 that were very, very good, but didn't really have as much of an impact on Barrios, though one of those may have created that cut, and that, of course, is a telling point. We've not been told whether there was a clash of heads, so we assume there wasn't.
Cutman Braulio Rodriguez going to work on Jorge Barrios, trying to stop 2 cuts. Moisture in the corner there of Acelino Freitas, and that really could have been dangerous.
Jorge Alonso did not indicate to anyone that there was a clash of heads, so if that cut would stop this fight, Barrios would lose. There's a move by Freitas, an uppercut as his first punch from way back. He is doing so many unorthodox things that are potentially problems for him. It's amazing, and he's getting away with it because Barrios hasn't been able to land effectively.
And in that last sequence, a nice right hand. Here's an answer by Freitas as Barrios walked right into a short, crisp right.
Beautiful right hand. And that's what Freitas wants to do. Jab, jab, right hand. If I was Acelino Freitas, I wouldn't throw another punch. I would jab and I would throw a right hand. I wouldn't throw an uppercut. I wouldn't throw a hook. I wouldn't even go to the body.
Freitas in a nice rhythm right now, throwing the jab, countering with the right, moving to his left, throwing the right, dodging bullets thrown by Barrios.
For all the adversity Barrios has faced here, cut in 2 places, he's been hit with big right hands. You can tell this young man desperately wants to win this title because he is not only hanging in there, he is being aggressive.
And by far his toughest test in Acelino Freitas. He's never been in there with anybody like Freitas.
Remember, Freitas predicted a 2nd or 3rd round knockout. That didn't happen. Barrios says he'll get Freitas in the 7th. That remains to be seen.
Or the 11th, or whichever comes first. The crowd chanting Popó. Barrios holding Freitas' head down. Left-right combination there by Barrios.
We've seen evidence early in this fight that Barrios' chin, which most people felt could be a pretty good one, has in fact been. He's been hit with some very solid shots by Freitas. Like that one.
Nice left hand by Freitas, who got out of harm's way. Barrios' face bloodied again.
Suéltese. Break. No tiren. Bien, vamos. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien.
That has got to be one of the toughest things going. Round 5 scheduled for 12 for the WBO and WBA 130-pound championship. Acelino Freitas in the silver. Jorge Barrios in the red and blue. Freitas 33-0, 30 knockouts, 10-0 in world title fights. Barrios first world title shot, 39-1-1 with a no decision, 29 KO. Both 27.
They've done a remarkable job with that cut. It was a fairly deep cut on the eyebrow. You see Barrios lunging in with that left hook. That's where Freitas is supposed to land a big counterpunch. So far he's had trouble doing it. I believe Acelino Freitas really looks rusty. You know, he's had 4 rounds of boxing total in the last 12 months. That was the knockout of Juan Carlos Ramirez. And this is not a technically perfect performance by Freitas.
You have to remember, Ramirez not a primetime player as Barrios just grabs hold of Freitas' legs. Ramirez passed his prime. It was an easy win for Freitas. Although he had to come off the canvas, but then he just dominated, stopped him in the 4th. Here's the press row scoring, and Solis has it even. Ricardo Solis from Univision Telefutura, 38-all.
I have a 39-36 for, 39-37 for Barrios.
No,
for Freitas, excuse me.
You almost gave me a heart attack.
Yeah, I know. I got you scared there, didn't I?
Got enough emotion going on here.
You don't have to worry about me now.
Cue the defibrillator. About a minute to go, round 5.
Do you start to wonder here? Do you say to yourself, you know, Freitas is controlling this fight primarily from the outside, doing kind of what he wants to. Barrios has been lunging but not able to get inside. Do you wonder to yourself, is Barrios going to start bull rushes in another round or two, literally to try and make his prediction come true? And can it work?
I believe Freitas is in the lead, as you point out. Not one of his stellar performances to this point. Oh, there's a lunging straight left that got through, a poking left by Barrios, but not a lot of steam behind it.
Very wide punches from Freitas. Now he's talking to the referee about Barrios using his head.
Barrios very confident here. He's scoring. Again, there's not a lot of power behind it, but picking up some points. Freitas double pumping. Not confident with every punch. Kind of pulling back a little bit.
A very unorthodox punch that got in from Barrios. A lunging jab after he had thrown kind of a half-hearted right hand. That's exactly the kind of punch that just should not land to Acelino Freitas, and it's just the kind that you thought Freitas might counter him as he came in to throw. It's not happening that way for Popó.
Right on Popó's Adam's apple. By the way, Popó, a Brazilian slang term for the slurping sound made by a feeding baby. Not your typical fighter's nickname.
No.
Usually we're used to the executioner, the mauler, the hatchet, but not Popó. Barrios coming forward. Brimming with confidence now.
Steve, you've done a number of Acelino Freitas' fight. Is this not one of the more tentative efforts by him? You don't get the feeling he's there to knock this guy out right now.
Yeah, I see him double clutching at times, holding back on certain punches. Perhaps it's partly the awkward brawling style of Barrios. Perhaps some of the emotional turmoil swimming around in the head of Acelino Freitas. His father, who passed away before the Ramirez fight, would have been 67 on Tuesday. Going through the divorce with his wife Eliana, who was always ringside for all of his fights.
There's the right hand by Freitas. You know what's fascinating? The jab and right hand is absolutely there for Freitas. If he would focus like a laser beam, didn't the president use that phrase once, on doing that and nothing else, he would get the job done.
One around the left eye of Barrios. We believe these cuts the result of punches, not head clashes.
Now Freitas has landed much better in this round. In this 6th round, he has gotten in some pretty good shots. Jab, straight right hands. Barrios still trying to find a way to get inside on a regular basis.
Past the midway point of round 6. Again, that awkward style allowing Barrios to get through. He did sneak a left hand in there. Of course, Freitas' punches have more zip than Barrios's. But Barrios has been busy. And as we pointed out, workmanlike. Good work rate. The blood doesn't seem to be a factor. It's going away from the eye.
Saw Freitas shake his right hand there. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. Remember, that's the right hand that was hurt against Ramirez. He said it was fine. He said it was great coming in, but he's bounced some right hands off the head of Barrios. We'll check to see if he uses that punch.
Yeah, he re-injured that hand against Casamayor in the victory when he took the WBA title. And he said the first time it actually felt 100% healed was his last fight. There's a right uppercut on the chin by Freitas, partially blocked by Barrios. If one of those punches gets through with full impact, it could be trouble.
You see the right hand get caught on in the ropes there, and later he would shake it, and we wondered if it was injured either from bouncing off the head of Barrios, or maybe that activity may have done something to it. I don't know, but he did land some good right hands in that round. But there was the moment when he shook it, which is usually a sign of a fighter not having a problem. Let's see. They're going to take a look at the cut.
I've got blood in the ear canal.
Dr. Stanley Simpson looking on.
On his ear.
Probably got a ruptured eardrum. He's got a ruptured eardrum.
Let it go. ¿Tú quieres seguir? Okay, let it go.
You heard the doctor say he's got a ruptured eardrum. Nevertheless, the fight will continue. So that could really affect your equilibrium. Remember the Zuleha fight in Australia back in the winter when Leha had a similar situation with a ruptured eardrum, and Kashizu won that fight. Well, let's see if this impacts. This could really spell trouble for Barrios. He takes a few more hits to that area.
Freitas in the last round, and there is what Acelino Freitas wants to do. Good jab, straight right hands to the body and the head, in and out. That's the kind of fight he wants to fight against this awkward growing Barrios.
The ear in question is the right one for Barrios.
Barrios has never been able to sustain an attack on the inside. He's gotten in from time to time, but has never been able to just stand there and bail away against Freitas.
Freitas is using that ear as target practice. A little counting shot by Barrios. For Barrios in all kinds of difficulty, he's got a couple of cuts and a ruptured eardrum. We do suspect, the doctor did say that there.
Strategically, this is now Acelino Freitas' fight, right now anyway. And remember, this is the round, at least the main round, in which Barrios predicted that he would win. And now blood coming from the left eye again. And that's because Freitas has gone to the jab so effectively in this round. Look at him, just sticking that jab and occasionally mixing in a right hand.
Shotgun jab having a terrible effect on Barrios' left eye. Now he comes through with a right cross. Freitas. Barrios hold.
This is the way they wanted Freitas to fight this fight.
Barrios getting nailed as Freitas picks up the pace. Now Barrios comes forward.
This is where Barrios would like him on the ropes. They exchanged rights, and Barrios has got there first with power.
Blood and sweat comes sprinkling down to us. Freitas pulling Barrios' head down, so referee Jorge Alonso gets in Acelino's face. And now they come together, and you see the expression, the grimace by Freitas.
Well, you know, he's allowing, if he allows Barrios inside, he's going to do the roughhousing tactics. Wow, you know, give Barrios all the credit in the world for his heart.
He's game. As we head for the bell. But Freitas very upset at Barrios and his roughhouse tactics.
When you're coming against the wall, throw the body and the uppercut. Where is the water? Give me some water. You need to put your head up, Barrios.
Jim Gray has a report. Jim?
All right, I just spoke to Dr. Stanley Simpson. He just examined in between rounds here Barrios, and he says that he has a ruptured eardrum and he will continue with that by his choice. As far as the eye is concerned, he says the gash is not deep enough to stop the fight, and he thinks they can control the bleeding. Steve?
Jim, thank you very much as we enter into round 8, scheduled for 12 for 2 130-pound titles. Freitas in the silver, Barrios in the blue and red. Freitas undefeated, Barrios in his first world title fight.
And I think we're seeing the first evidence that Barrios is a little daunted in this fight. He's on the outside taking some pretty big shots at Freitas and not as reckless and as abandoned to come in.
Suddenly becoming a lot more cautious, feeling the power of Freitas. Freitas with a lot of movement, trying to confuse the challenger. Freitas just missing wildly, trying to end matters right here.
3 times, of course, Freitas has had to go the distance to win his fights against Casamayor. He boxed superbly when they thought he would have to be the puncher in that fight. And in this fight, he has turned to boxing as a way to handle the bull rushes and the wild style of Jorge Barrios.
That was a foul-marred fight with Casamayor that Freitas controlled the first half and Casamayor came on in the second half. But the points victory went to Popó.
Both men downplayed the nationalistic angle of this, the Argentine-Brazil angle. They said it is about boxing, this is about winning a championship.
Freitas teeing off, trying to end it with the right hand. It missed.
He is, part of the reason those right hands are not having a bigger effect is he is not planted when he's throwing them, Freitas.
Barrios firmly planted between the ropes. Freitas, Everett, the gentleman, laid off.
Well, that left eye getting to be a big mess for Barrios.
Showing how game he is. A left hand out of nowhere. Freitas walked right into it and went down. Flashback down for the 4th time in his career. And he's having a laugh with the referee Jorge Alonso over it.
Well, I think he was just off balance. Interesting round to score now.
Well, he went down in his last one, and now he goes down again. And they touch gloves at the bell.
It was opportunity.
Here's where the knockdown was called. He was hit with a punch. He did go down, but he slipped on the logo on the canvas. So you do have to call that a knockdown. That was an appropriate call by the referee, but it came because primarily he slipped on the canvas. And that's why I ended up making that an even round. I had to because of the knockdown, but I had Freitas winning the round.
May I ask you how you have it to this point, heading into round 9?
I have it 79-75 for Acelino Freitas.
So a short left hand, followed by a little bit of a slip by Acelino Freitas, resulting in a knockdown for Barrios. But Freitas got up smiling, certainly not hurt by the shot.
We did not know a couple things about Jorge Barrios. We saw tapes against performers that weren't fantastic. He did beat Orlando Soto, beat Carlos Rios, but faded contenders. We didn't know how he would hold up when he got hit with big right hands by Acelino Freitas. He's held up even though he's been punished and cut.
From time to time out, shots by Barrios, particularly the left hand, push Freitas back.
He's landed some shots this round, Barrios. See, when he lunges like that, it is very hard. Freitas should be landing counter punches. And the other thing that's becoming a factor is that logo in the middle of the ring. Both fighters are starting to slip on it.
When it gets wet and moist, that happens, and that left eye really looking bad for Barrios. The blood now seems to be getting into the eye. He's rubbing it away with his left glove. It's really bothering him. Yet he keeps lunging forward. Clubbing right hand to the top of the head by Barrios. Midway through the night. Scheduled for 12. You talk about Game tough guy, that's Barrios.
He might be winning this round. He has landed maybe enough punches to win this round. We have 1:18 left, and it could alter. But Freitas has let him land some of those punches. There, you see the press row scoring with one writer actually having it for Barrios, which I find fascinating.
Split decision at this point. Minute to go in the ninth. A very busy Jorge Barrios here in round 9, looking impressive despite all of his trials and tribulations. All you have to do is look at his face and his ear.
You know, both these men have had a lot of drama in their life in the last several years. This fight is that in microcosm.
Yes.
Lots of individual dramas being played out.
Barrios involved in drugs, used to steal as a kid, both from very poor backgrounds. Freitas going through the divorces we have chronicled, coming off the passing of his father, going through a heck of a lot. Barrios would go on talk shows in Argentina and have verbal fights with his ex-wife. Unbelievable stuff.
Who's Jerry Springer in Argentina? No.
The Jerry Springer of South America. Looks like Barrios has been in a train wreck as we enter round 10. The doc says fight on despite all of the problems. Blood continues to streak down the left side of Barrios' face and the right side. There may be blood coming out of the right ear.
And for the first time, they couldn't stop the bleeding. He came out this round with blood streaming from his face. That hasn't happened before. And Freitas landed a big right hand right at the beginning of this round. I saw Acelino Freitas back in the mid-90s in a Boxino tournament when he had, just a little while after he turned pro, he won that tournament, knocked everybody out, and you knew when you watched him, he was going to be a very, very special performer in boxing. Huge right hand.
Well, Barrios special here because he looks like a walking emergency room, and yet he forges ahead.
Freitas has landed 2 freight train right hands in this round, and there is one question that's been answered. Barrios has a terrific chin.
Without question, and a big heart. Both landing simultaneously. There's some blood around the nose under the left eye of Freitas, but that could be from Barrios' face. It's flying every which way. We're getting it. And now Freitas.
You know what else I have to say I believe I underestimated was Barrios' defense. It is not as bad as it appeared to me on all those tapes and looking at him. He has been able, either that or Freitas is just not as accurate a puncher tonight because he has been able to slip more punches than I thought he ever would.
Well, we said it at the outset, Al, and it has lived up to our word that Freitas might not lose, that Barrios might give him some difficulty.
I think Barrios just tried to wipe his cut off on the sleeve of the referee.
Well, look at his right sleeve.
Yeah.
Look at Alonzo's sleeve.
Alonzo was trying to get out of his way. He used it to wipe off the blood. Here's where Barrios wants Freitas. Bad place for Freitas to be. He's getting whacked with those left hooks. This is Barrios' chance in this fight right here.
His window of opportunity as he has Freitas tied up on the ropes.
In a round in which otherwise Freitas has controlled the action.
Barrios very wild with those punches. Can Freitas take the opportunity and counter with a big right hand?
And with 2 rounds left in this fight, Freitas' movement has gotten less. He's getting cornered a little bit more. We'll see.
As Freitas plays keep away.
Barrios, after one of these clinches, look at him. He is looking for a place to wipe his. I've never seen that in 20-some years of announcing boxing. I've never seen a fighter do that. But then Jorge Barrios is as unorthodox a guy and fighter as you can imagine.
And almost like Elzaro Freitas, I think, has embedded a Z on the side of Barrios' face. I got a good look at it. It was almost in the shape of a Z.
No, fue puño, Freitas.
Amazing.
I've never seen such accuracy. It's amazing.
Unbelievable. Round 11, the championship rounds.
It has not been an artistic fight. It has not been an artistic performance necessarily by either man, but it has been interesting bout, to say the least, because there have been many twists and turns of it.
What a jab by Barrios that snapped. Freitas is head back and down goes Freitas again. That time for real.
Yep.
They're getting the mouthpiece back in the impact. Made the mouthpiece fly out of his mouth. That was some shot.
Oscar Suarez taking his time getting that mouthpiece in. Big break for Freitas there.
What a dramatic turn here in the 11th, and a lot of time left in the round. Barrios on the attack. Freitas holds on.
And as amazing as that knockdown was, the way it came was amazing. A jab and a straight right hand. We've seen nothing like that from Barrios so far in this fight.
Freitas in all kinds of difficulty here. Barrios with a barrage, smothering Freitas, and he rubs his head once again on the referee's sleeve. Talk about using every opportunity. Jorge Barrios. Got a lot of Brazilians worried here in the Miami arena. A slapping left hook by Barrios. Barrios canvassing the champion.
And right now in Argentina, where this fight is being beamed to them, and there are, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands of Argentines watching, they are thinking they may have their first junior lightweight champion if Barrios can follow up and somehow knock Freitas out, and he might need that to win this fight.
The awkward brawling style of Jorge Barrios, a natural southpaw who fights in a conventional stance, emerging as a very tough opponent, plus the distractions surrounding Freitas, all part and parcel to what we are seeing unfold in front of us here tonight.
Another right hand lands by Freitas, but in this fight, he has not hurt Barrios severely with those right hands.
Freitas down a couple of times in the fight. In the last one, Barrios meant it. The first one, a partial slip. The last one had some power behind it. Oh, look out, Barrios at the bell down. He doesn't know where he is. Can't be saved.
Sent to the canvas, a jab and a straight right hand. Those are the straightest punches Barrios has thrown all night. They landed. Then a huge right hand by Freitas. The best he's thrown tonight, and he's thrown some good ones.
A Hollywood right by Freitas. It was frantic in the Barrios corner. They touched glove for the last round. He's in trouble, Barrios. It started with a right, and he's down again. You talk about heart. Left hand got in by Freitas. But Barrios fights back on very unsteady legs.
If Jorge Barrios makes it through this round it will be one of the more astonishing performances you'll ever see. I don't know if it's going to happen, and I doubt it.
That was a slip. They should give this guy the Purple Heart. He doesn't know where he is. It's all over. It's all over. Freitas wins. What a dramatic victory, and the Brazilian fans celebrate. Freitas, who was disrespected during the build-up to this fight by Barrios, I don't think there's any question how much he must respect the Argentinian.
That's the latest he has ever knocked anyone out in a fight, Acelino Freitas. He knocked out Carlos Rios in 9. That's the latest he's ever done.
And the emotional floodgates begin to open.
Here's where, in the last round, the first knockdown, again the right hand is the key weapon in this round, this past round. It is a right hand that sent him down, and he was in huge trouble at this point. That was very early in the round. And here's where a right hand glances off his head. He actually slipped down. However, he was in such trouble when he got up, crawling to get up, that the referee appropriately had to stop the fight. As we look at it from this angle, you see there was a glancing right there, and I believe that kind of affected his equilibrium. He was wobbling right there. And then so when he got up, even though that last punch missed, clearly Barrios had no idea how he was going to stand up.
But making the effort, nevertheless, trying to get up, showing his guts, his heart. An incredible display of courage by Jorge Barrios, embraced by a bloodied referee. Talk about the cover of Life magazine. What a shot. A 12th-round TKO for Popó as they hoist him into the air along with Barrios. What a scene of sportsmanship after all the bad blood.
They have to have some admiration for each other.
And Al, a candidate for fight of the year. They started off by talking to each other before the bell, and they finished by talking to each other at the end. Throw it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 50 seconds in round number 12. Our referee in charge, Jorge Alonso, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, still undefeated and still champion, Acelino Popó Freitas.
He said it wasn't for pride, for honor, for country. It was for Acelino Freitas to maintain his titles and continue his run as world champion. But there's no question how much pride he must have instilled in his fellow countrymen tonight, nevertheless.
At Quiznos, you're now the chef.